Willow's green eyes softened. "Oh, Amy, I'm sorry. I had no idea you were interested in a job. I filled the event planner job yesterday. Honestly, I thought you were—" "No, I'm not marrying Grady." She balled her hands into fists. "Everybody needs to get that in their heads, okay?" Willow took a step forward. "Are you all right?" Yeah, I'm good. But I need a job," she said on a shaky sigh, as a tear escaped from her right eye. She turned her back on Willow, forcing herself to walk slowly toward the door, breathing normally, even though her pulse had taken off like a runaway jet engine. "I have another job opening if you're interested. It's seasonal, and it only pays minimum wage," Willow said to her back. Amy stopped. Did she want a minimum wage job? No. But what other choice did she have? In the Let's Face Reality department, she had no skills and no real experience, and with a resume like that, she should probably expect to start at the absolute bottom. She turned. "I'll take it," she said. Willow cocked her head. "Don't you even want to know what the job is?" "Whatever it is, I'll do it." "It's on the grounds crew. We need extra hands in the summertime to keep up with the gardening chores and setups for weddings and other events. It's a lot of physical labor. You up for that?" Amy nodded. Physical labor didn't sound like much fun, especially since it had been months since she'd visited the gym. But on the other hand, becoming a laborer was exactly the kind of thing that would annoy the crap out of Daddy. And that thought warmed her through and through. He'd be so sorry he locked her out of the house, drained her bank account, and left her with only enough money to buy Eggs Benedict at the Red Fern. "Okay," Willow said with a nod. "The job is yours. You'll be reporting to the Eagle Hill Facilities Director, Dusty McNeil." Dusty loved his little office with the big picture window and the view of the Blue Ridge Mountains. It occupied space in the new outbuilding everyone called the barn, because it had replaced the old one that had been there for a century. This building was much more than a barn, however. It served as the state-of-the-art headquarters for Eagle Hill Manor's facility management team. It had internet, a workshop, garage space for a fleet of golf carts and utility vehicles, and storage for all manner of folding chairs, tables, trellises, tents, columns, pedestals, and fountains. It also had a kennel for Sven, Natalie Lyndon's gigantic labradoodle, a doggy obedience school dropout 3 times over. Right now, the dog was being a good boy, sitting at Dusty's feet while Dusty enjoyed his second cup of coffee. In Dusty's opinion, Sven needed a firmer hand and a little more attention, something 10-year-old Natalie didn't quite get and her busy parents had no time for. That was Dusty's fault in some ways, because he'd been the one to give the dog to Natalie in the first place, the Christmas before last. He gave Sven's head a little scratch as he reviewed the upcoming schedule for the day. The Chapman-Cuddy wedding would be taking place at 1 o'clock in the Laurel Chapel, with a small reception under a tent on the terrace to follow. The Gannis-McQuaid 200-guest wedding reception was scheduled to begin at 6 o'clock in the carriage house. Dusty was jotting down notes for the day's activities when Sven suddenly sprang to his feet and started barking. "Hush," he directed, just as Willow knocked on the doorframe of his always-open office door. "Got a minute?" she asked, as Sven jumped up on her, earning him a scolding. "Why is he here?" she asked. "Because he gets lonely when Natalie's at school. He keeps me company in the mornings, and I return the favor." Willow gave him the evil eye. "Maybe you should have kept him instead of giving him to Natalie." Yeah, maybe he should have, but he didn't have room for Sven in his tiny house or his single life. "What's up?" he asked, ignoring the jibe. Willow strolled into the office without answering his question, and that's when Dusty noticed Amy Lyndon hovering in the doorway, eyeing Sven like he was one of those dire wolves from Game of Thrones. Why was Amy here, and why had she been having breakfast at dark 30 at Gracie's? She looked like a wind-blown juvenile delinquent in those ragged jeans and that biker girl jacket. Of course, that only proved that he knew nothing about fashion. If Amy